Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for coming to hang out with me today. I'm so excited for today's video. We're going to be talking all about matte versus dewy. I know when I first got into makeup I had so many questions about what does matte mean? Like, who is that? What is dewy? What are the right products to get the matte look or the dewy look? So we're going to go into all that today and my favorite products for both, and then do a comparison side by side. So on this side I have everything all matte, and then this side everything all radiant. Just a quick disclaimer, if you're looking for a routine that isn't going to like transfer onto your face mask, because I know right now we're in a pandemic and we're all wearing face masks, the radiant side, which is this side, probably isn't going to be the best for that, because typically dewier products, more radiant products, they will transfer, they will move around. Now, overall, the matte side is going to be more mask friendly, but either way, check it out, see what you think for yourself, and drop in the comments below what you think, which side is your favorite. I'm going to share my favorite side at the end of this video and kind of my final thoughts. But yeah, if you're interested in finding out more about what are the best products for matte or dewy and kind of seeing them side by side, then keep on watching. Alright, so I am barefaced and ready to go. I'm going to start with the foundation you guys have seen me use. It's the one that I use in my full coverage foundation routine for redness, and it's from Lancome. It's the Lancome Tient Idole Ultra wear. It's like a 24-hour wear, a natural matte finish, so it's not crazy matte, which I do like, but it covers so well. I feel like the color range is really, really good. So I'm going to start with that one. Normally I use like 2 pumps, but since I'm only going to be doing half of my face today, I'm just going to do 1 pump, and I work off the back of my hand here. And it really doesn't matter if I do like a matte routine or a more radiant routine. I use the same brush and I apply it the same way. So I start where I have the most redness here on my cheeks, and then just do little bouncing motions, really working it in and then working it around. And once I have it blended for the most part, that's kind of when I go on my forehead when there's still a little bit left on the brush. Work it into my hairline, the temples, right on the nose, really working it into the skin. And then since I get redness down here as well, I'm going to bring it all the way down here. Okay, so that's the matte side, and now for radiant foundation. This one's from Lancome as well. I love all the Lancome foundations because I feel like the coverage is always really good and they have the best shade range, so that's why I'm going to be using a Lancome one today. This one's called Renergy Lift. This one's just more of like hydrating, gives you more of that luminous look, so that's what I'm going to be using. Oh, and I forgot to mention, so in the Tient Idole one that I put on first on this side, I'm the shade 215N, and then in the Renergy Lift, I'm a 210. So those are the shades I'm going to be using. I feel like the 210 is a little bit dark. By the time I get done doing the rest of my products, like my concealer, setting everything, bronzer, blush, and highlight, I feel like it matches anyway. Alright, so the foundation is done. So this is the side that's more of like the matte, and then this is the side that's a little bit more radiant. Because I have like a big ring light in front of me, this side's probably going to look a little radiant, which is okay. You'll notice the biggest difference once everything else is on: concealer, powders, highlighters, etc. Alright, so now moving on to concealer. I don't really like radiant concealer, so if I do like a radiant foundation look, or like a radiant skin look, I do the same concealer no matter what, because the radiant ones will crease a little bit. So I'm going to use my favorite concealer from Lancome. It's a Tient Idole Ultra Wear Camouflage Concealer. Such a long name, but I love that it's full coverage, and I'm going to use the shade 90 to really brighten under the eyes. And with concealer, I just use my finger. So I start down here, like on my cheek, place most of the product, then from here move upwards to really get right under the eye, right under my eye makeup, like the wing right here, just go right up to the edge of it. And to make sure I don't crease, I am going to set my concealer before I move on to the other side using my favorite under eye setting powder from Beauty. It's the Transformation palette. It has the 2 shades, the pinkier tone or the yellow tone. I'm going to do the pinkier tone today, and most days honestly I do that one. And I just get it. I have like a little Morphe brush. This one, I'm so bad at like telling people the names of the brushes, but it's from the Jaclyn Hill collection, JH07. And I'm just going to take it and pat it right under the eye. I I really love this powder though because it makes sure underneath my eyes doesn't crease and it brightens it such a crazy amount, which I absolutely love. Okay, so that's the concealer and the brightening powder on the one side. Alright, so now I'm going to contour on the radiant side. I'm going to use the KKW contour sticks. This one's in tan. Honestly, contour sticks I normally don't really like, but this one I feel like is really good. So I just take it right along where that line naturally is, kind of towards the top of my ear, and then go upwards. And then I'm also going to take it on my temple here, and the side of my nose. Just going to blend that out, moving in upwards motions and pouncing motions. Just kind of going back and forth, and then up on the temple, really blending that in. Okay, so once it's blended, now I'm going to go in, blend the nose. I just kind of go up and down until it's blended, basically. Now that that's pretty much blended, I'm just going to go in with my finger and make sure there's no creasing right under my eye before I set it with the brightening powder. Okay, I'll go in with the same brightening powder. The reason I didn't do this first is because I like to do all of my like cream products or like liquid before I go in with powder. Pressing that in. Okay, so as you can see, this side is contoured, but this side is not. Before I go in to contour this side though, I'm going to set it with powder. Since it is more of a matte, I like it to be completely set with powder, whereas this one, I only set under my eyes with powder. So I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder to go ahead and set the rest of this side. And I just take it on a big fluffy brush and press in on the lower half of my face and then up onto the forehead, side of the nose. I won't put it under the eye though, since I already did the brightening powder under there. Alright, so now to contour this side, I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit in light to medium. I'm going to use the middle shade here. This one seems to work best on my skin tone. So I'm going to take that on a brush and contour using like the same technique I did here. It's just with a powder formula instead. Taking it from the top of the ear, moving back and forth. And on this side and this side, I don't bring it in too far. I stop like right about like mid-cheek because you don't want it to bring the face down. You want it to be really lifted and pull it back. Then I'm going to take it just like I did on the other side, work it onto my temple, into my hairline, and then along the top as well. I'll take it on the side of my nose as well, just kind of pressing up and down just like I did on the other side. Okay, so now for blush. So on the matte side, I'm obviously going to use a matte blush. This one's from Lancome. I just have it out of the package. This one's called Amrose. With matte blushes, I feel like you have to use so much more to get like color payoff. So I just loaded it on the brush, and then I'll just work it right along the contour line, onto the cheek, and a little bit on the side of the nose. Alright, so for the radiant side, I'm going to use a blush that has a little bit of shimmer. This one's called Everyday Coral from Lancome, which is in this little pan. And I'm going to apply it in the same place. Since I didn't set this side with powder, I kind of use pressing motions as well because I don't want to move around any of the cream products that I used. So I just kind of work in pressing motions and then working it back into the contour and onto the cheek. Okay, so now for my favorite part, which is going to be so weird to only do it on one side, but that is highlighter. I am obsessed with the highlighter from Jaclyn Hill. It's called the Flash Palette. It looks like this. She came out with it. It was limited edition, and it's probably my favorite highlighter of all time. So I am so sad that it's like hitting pan because I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out of it, but it's so good. So I'm only going to apply it to this side here, but like look at the glow. Like it's crazy. And I like to put highlight here, bring it all the way back, and then right onto the apples of my cheek as well. Alright, so now to lock it all in place, Morphe actually came out with a mattifying setting spray, so I'm going to use that on this side of my face here. It looks like this. It's in the same aerosol can as the regular one, which I love. I'm going to see if I can hopefully only get this side because I don't want it mattifying this side. I'm just going to take it and just do hopefully the one side. So while that dries, I'm going to use the regular continuous setting mist from Morphe as well. So I'm going to let both of those dry completely and pop on a lip, and I will be right back. Alright you guys, so I am all finished. So this is the side that is matte, and then this is the side that is more radiant. What do you guys think? Let me do just like a full spin for you guys, each side slowly. Alright, so put in the comments below which side do you prefer. Do you like the matte side better, or do you like the radiant side better? I would love to just hear your guys' thoughts. And go ahead, if you could, please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, leave some comments for me, show me some love. And then if you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead and check me out on Instagram. It's ciara.williams. I'll put a link to my Instagram, TikTok, all that fun stuff in the description box below. And then I'll also link all the products that I use in the description box below as well. But thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with me, and I will see you guys next week.